Going on, guys? It's your boy JT Knows Things, and we're back here to the Crypto Den. Thank you for tuning in. Today, we get to talk about an exciting topic, as always. You know how enthusiastic I am. Grayscale, that big old trust, GBTC, the largest over the counter traded fund regarding Bitcoin, right, who was recently cut ties with Genesis due to their lawsuits and bankruptcy and everything else they got going on. Um, and it's been trading at a 50% discount this whole time. Grayscale finally, with all of the mountains they got to climb, the uphill battles, the dragons they had to slay, it is a glorious, glorious day, not just for Grayscale, but for crypto in general. So we'll get right into it. But before I get into it, I'm going to show you an article here. Before we get to that, I just wanted to remind you all who I am and why I make these videos. I am Jake Tullis, or JT. I am the fund manager of Bleeding Edge Capital. We are a hedge fund based out of Cincinnati, Ohio, where we raise capital through investors and deploy it exclusively into the cryptocurrency market. This channel is where I document my research and efforts as I grow that fund and interest in crypto in general through my platform, JT Knows Things. I have 10 years of software development experience and a degree in finance, so crypto is my kind of marriage of interests and specialties. If you have any questions about who I am, you can visit the banner photo in my YouTube channel and go to my LinkedIn and my company's websites, everything else, so you can understand who I am to give you some credibility as to what I am discussing on all of these videos. If you ever need help, I'm just an I am away. I genuinely make this stuff to help everyone understand this space better so they can be more educated when they are making these decisions for their families. I take that to my heart. So if I can help you, please reach out. Now that that's out of the way, boys and girls, let's get right to it. So, we have Grayscale winning their SEC lawsuit for Bitcoin's ETF review. So, 2 years ago, roughly, Grayscale, they basically decided to stand up this trust company. It might even be before that, honestly. I'm not a big traditional finance guy, so when this all occurred is, it's not my, top tier knowledge. But what you need to understand is GBTC stands for Grayscale Bitcoin Trust Company. Okay, they basically stood up a trust, like a REIT, if you will, and they allowed people to basically buy shares of this trust that then had a stockpile of Bitcoin they acquired. And that's why they were trading at that discount. They had all this Bitcoin they picked up real cheap, and they're able to reduce the price to try to get liquidity for all these bankruptcy issues they've had with Genesis, which is the digital coin group, like all those bankruptcies that basically occurred during the FTX fallout. So you have Grayscale getting in bed with Genesis, which was in bed with FTX. There's just this sequence of things that occurred, okay? And Grayscale was left kind of befuddled. And on top of all of that, they've been trying to make their trust an ETF, which would basically allow people to trade over the counter real shares that are tied 1-to-1 to Bitcoin. So as you put $1,000 in the ETF, they would go get $1,000 at the spot price of Bitcoin right there. It's just like a way to get exposure into Bitcoin directly, but without having to go on chain. So this means like massive companies, which is why we're all excited about ETFs. Massive companies could deploy a percent of their portfolio into the ETF and pump liquidity into Bitcoin, which would obviously drive the price up and allow for broad market exposure, bringing a lot of people onto Bitcoin, which would be fantastic for the market in general. This lawsuit specifically was around converting that trust company into an ETF. Basically, the SEC had rejected the application for that to occur. Okay? And they've been appealing and fighting for years to get this approved. And just 2 days ago, they ordered Grayscale's petition for review so they could be granted, and the SEC's order is denied. That means Grayscale has a green light to launch an ETF, and the SEC can do nothing about it, according to this judge. We are unsure if this is the final fight, but this is a massive, massive feather in our cap here. This is over at Cointelegraph. You can see here that the DC court ruled in favor of Grayscale. This is a monumentous moment for crypto in general. And what does this mean? Well, it means that in the coming quarters, maybe year, we're going to have companies like Grayscale. We already have almost 80 ETF applications, just so you guys are aware. Like all the biggest funds, including BlackRock, ARK, they're all going to have ETFs eventually. This decision sets a precedent that is going to be hard to overrule. And it means we are just that much closer to institutional money and retail traditional money getting in. That could be trillions of dollars into our market cap. It would be a bull run of the entire bull run of the bull runs of the bull runs, like crazy bull run, if we were to get that kind of exposure here into Bitcoin. And as we all know, after Bitcoin pumps, so do the alts. As market dominance goes up, alts will eventually go up and not let Bitcoin cannibalize the market cap. And that's just how it's always been. It's a teeter totter. That's why we at Bleeding Edge Capital are long term. That's why you watch my videos, because you're long term. If you were to just zoom in month to month, quarter to quarter, yeah, or day to day, God, day to day would be so stressful. But if you go year to year, you'll see there's only 3 red candles in Bitcoin in the market in general. Go to the market cap, there's 4. Literally, you have an 80% chance of winning if you just hold for a decade. Those are really good odds. In general, across a decade, Bitcoin has done 10, 20, 50x. Like, it's crazy, guys. Be calm, wait patiently, do your research, read articles every day, just get educated, but overall, practice some faith and grace as we navigate this tumultuous time. Bitcoin's obviously up 80 something percent from the bottom, but it has been jumping up and down. It's still not incredibly optimistic, but we can put this case as a dub in our bags, and that is just great news for all of us. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful. If you want a link to that article, or in general, if you have any more questions, put them in the comments. I appreciate all of the love and support we've gotten. We just got to 400 subs. That's huge. I thank everyone on this journey. Seriously, thank you. And I'll keep coming back. I'll keep giving you this content. And if it helps just one of you make a better decision that can fundamentally change your family's life, I can rest easy knowing I've done something of value and I've left this world sharing, as we all should. So with that, thank you all for coming. Until next time, take care of one another. Love you guys.